Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be making this cute bunny card using products from Pretty Pink Posh. I'll be using Pretty Pink Posh's Layered Bunny Faces Stencil Set, the Bunny Face Shaker die set, I have the Eyelet Circles die set, the Spring Mug Additions die set, and I'll just be using the flower. For a sentiment, I have Sentiment Strips Easter stamp set and the Sentiment Strips die set. I'll start off by stenciling the background using the Layered Bunny Faces Stencil Set. There are 3 layers for this set. I have a piece of white cardstock in my Waffle Flower Mini Stencil Mat, and I'm securing the first stencil layer using some mint tape from scrapbook.com. The ink color I'm using for the bunny's head is Catherine Pooler's Sandcastle. I will be cutting down the white cardstock piece after I stencil it. I just like to use a half sheet of cardstock since this is a 6x6 size stencil. Sometimes when I'm starting the card, I'm not sure if I'll do a horizontal or a vertical card. So I find it easier to use the entire stencil. Then I can decide later how I want to cut it down. Once I finish with the bunny head stencil layer, I'll bring in the next layer that has the mouth, the eyes, and the whiskers. I'm using Catherine Pooler's Icing on the Cake ink color. It's a darker brown color. This is the first time using this adorable bunny stencil. I think it would look cute in so many different colors, but I decided to start with a light brown, sort of a tan color for my first card using the stencil. I have 2 more rows of the bunnies to stencil. Once I've finished with all of the bunnies, I'll lift up the stencil just on the right side, sort of hinge it up, take a peek, and see if I need to add more ink to any of the bunnies. For the final stencil layer, it'll add the inside of the ears and the bunny's nose. I'm using a fun pink color. This is Be Mine by Catherine Pooler. And before I secure the stencil down, I'm making sure the inside of the ears and the nose are lined up correctly for all of the bunnies. One of my favorite color combinations has always been pink and brown. So I thought it'd be fun to use the colors for an adorable bunny card. I love trying different color combinations, so let me know what your favorites are. Maybe I'll try them in a future video. Patriotic colors are another favorite color combination of mine. I could use almost any product and make a patriotic card. Even these little bunnies would look super cute in red, white, and blue. I give cards to the residents at a nearby retirement home for every holiday. I'm trying to stay ahead this year, so I already have my Easter cards done, Mother's Day cards done, Father's Day cards will be next, and then it's Independence Day. So red, white, and blue cards are already on my mind. Once I finish stenciling the background, I cut down the panel to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Decided to go with a vertical card. I think about 2/3 of my cards I make vertical versus horizontal, but I always have the fold at the top of my card. It's just a personal preference. A question I get asked all the time is if I purchase store-bought card bases that are already folded, or do I make my own? And the answer is I make my own. I purchase cardstock in bulk from a local paper store, and I pay them to cut the cardstock into card base sizes. So I'll have 2/3 of the cardstock cut for vertical cards and 1/3 for horizontal cards. Then I crease the card bases myself at home. It saves me a ton of time, and the cardstock I like to use is Accent Opaque 120 pound cover weight cardstock. Using the Bunny Face Shaker die set, I cut out 2 of the bunny heads, glued them together just for some extra stability. And I use light tan cardstock for the bunny's head, trying to match the ink color on the stenciled background. Most of the cardstock I used for my card was just scraps I have on hand. The only thing I needed to cut a sheet is the dark brown cardstock. And the dark brown cardstock is made by Tonic Studios. It's their chocolate brown color. I'm using bright pink cardstock for the inside of the ears and the nose, also trying to match the color on the stencil background. And I use the chocolate brown cardstock color for the bunny's eyes, mouth, and whiskers. You can also use this die set to create a shaker. There's another die that'll cut out the inside of the bunny's face, but for my card, I'm not using it for a shaker. It's fun to have the two different options though. When adhering the whiskers, I'm trying to adhere them evenly on both sides. I'll start with the middle whisker on the right side, then I flip the bunny's head on the side, trying to line up the left side whisker in the middle. Then I'll add the other two whiskers on the right side and the final two whiskers on the left side. And I'm having the very ends of the whiskers going off the bunny's cheek. My little bunny will be wearing a pink flower, and the flower image is from the Spring Mug Editions die set. I cut out two flowers from some light pink cardstock and I'll layer them together, offsetting them slightly so the flower has lots of petals. And I used light yellow cardstock for the center of the flower. Then using my fingers, I'm lifting up some of the petals to give the flower more of a dimensional look. I'll put glue on the back and adhere the flower in front of the bunny's ear on the left side. Using a white gel pen, I'll add highlights on the bunny's ears, the side of its face, its nose, and also its eyes. I think adding the white to the eyes gives the bunny an even cuter look. Now I'll flip over the bunny, put foam dimension on the back, using scrapbook.com's 1mm foam. I'll make sure to get good coverage on the back side so there isn't one area that sags. If you prefer to have more dimension on your card, you could use thicker foam. The foam is available at scrapbook.com in 1mm, 2mm, and also 3mm. The 1mm foam thickness is my favorite. Then I'll remove the release paper, but before adhering the bunny to the card, I'll first add the sentiment. I've already stamped and cut out the sentiment, hopping by to say hello. This would be a really cute Easter card, but I'm using a general sentiment, so now I can use the card year-round. I'll put foam dimension on the back, adhere the sentiment at the bottom of the card, then I'll put the bunny head right above the sentiment. For embellishments, I'm adding some pearls from Pretty Pink Posh. This is the marshmallow color. I'll put 2 in the upper right-hand corner and 3 on the left side of the bunny. They don't have adhesive on the back, so I'll first add a small drop of Barely Art glue, pick them up with my embellishment wand, then press them in place. The pearl mix has 3 or 4 different sizes. I'm using the 2 smallest sizes on my card. The pearls come in a small Ziploc bag. I keep mine in a little container since I find them easier to use. And for a final finishing touch, I'm adding a little bit of sparkle on the inside of the flower using a clear glitter brush from scrapbook.com. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. To celebrate the new release, Pretty Pink Posh is having a fun Instagram hop. There's lots of inspiration from the design team and guest designers, plus a chance to win a Pretty Pink Posh gift card. You can check out the Instagram hop on my page at Best Things in Life Are Pink, and I do have a link in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.